Now, the last application is mobile application. And as we have discussed before, we know that mobile applications are sometimes and wireless sometimes we use them interchangeably. Now, what are the advantage of using mobile application? Now, since a lot of users are, or a lot of customers are using mobile phones, and there is a growth of mobile enabled application. These are the factors that drive IT and business process change, and what happens is it needs to be responsive to this demand, because there is a demand for mobile applications. And what they have found out is the advantage is that it shortens the cycle time of key processes when you use mobile application. The advantages of mobile application is driven by the same factors driving IT and business processes change. And examples of this change or advantages are just be more responsive to their customers and optimize the efficiency of their staff resources and shorten the cycle time of key processes. In other words, you can streamline process if you use mobile application. This is an example. iReality is an example of mobile technologies. Now, while it's loading, some of the advantage that I haven't mentioned is that if you have mobile application, you can actually make better decisions. For example, if these are normally useful if your employees are out in the field, meaning not in the office, so they can make decisions because they have already access to information in your office. They don't need to call, and when they're selling something, they can make faster decision, because if they don't have information in the field, field means outside the office, and when they're talking to the client, they cannot respond to the customer needs if they don't have the correct information. So for example, if you're in insurance and you're selling quotes to a client and they have a specific questions and you don't have that information, now having mobile enabled application, and you can have access to information and you'll be able to respond to that customer's question. And also, one of the advantages, it shortens cycle times, because it can bridge the gap between the field and the office. You can report remotely, and for example, if you are in retail inventory, it can shorten replenishment, meaning if you need more products to be delivered to you, you can do that, and you can also track logistics. Now, within the government sector, another advantage of mobile application is to support public safety, law enforcement. What happens is, if there's a disaster or a state of emergency, some of the government provides BlackBerry devices to some of its employees so that they can update damage assessment databases remotely. So when they go to the site where there is an emergency, then they can make updates. And in this case, those people who are on the ground and decision makers can actually make decisions based on the assessment that has been given by the people who are on the field. So, meaning when I say field, they are the ones who actually are within the site of the emergency. Now, this example, iRealty.com.au uses mobile application, and they are ones of the early adopters. What they do is, you can send SMS by typing the browser, or you can send bulk SMS for subscribers, or this is if you want to remind subscribers for specific auctions or open homes, then this is an example of the use of mobile application, okay, for buyers, for home buyers. And if you're selling homes too, you will be updated using mobile. Okay, going to the next application, 3D printing. Okay, I'll show you first what 3D, a lot of time to develop a prototype for a product. Now in this case, you need only a CAD where you design the product and then print it out, and it will develop the product for you. That's why they call this the rapid prototyping technology. You can produce the exact replica of the product that you need as fast as you can. And right now, aside from businesses, small businesses can use this even. Okay, this is our last slide, and I have shown you an example on how 3D printing, or what is 3D printing, and I've also discussed like who would use this and how, and you can think of all other uses of this 3D printing. Now we'll end this week's lecture with that, and next week I will be discussing week 10's presentation, and it will focus on ethics and social issues with regards to emerging technologies. And please complete your outstanding labs and make sure that you prepare for your team assignment for week 11. Okay, so I will send you an email again regarding week 10's lecture. Bye.
And very office friendly with clean, quiet operation. Come and see for yourself at ThingLab's Central London demonstration studio. The Z-Printer 450 is for those seeking high-quality colour 3D models, with the convenience of an in-house printer to build those models anytime, anywhere. The uniquely automated Z-Printer 450 simplifies the entire 3D printing process. Set a binder cartridge, connecting a powder canister for automatic loading, or snapping in a new print head. When ready, click 3D print and watch your 3D model emerge from the bottom up, one cross-section at a time. In 450 DPI resolution, advanced inkjet technology builds models 5 to 10 times faster than any other rapid prototype systems. So you get your model in hours, not days. When printing is complete, a vacuum and motion system automatically removes up to 80% of loose powder and recycles it for future use. Removing the remaining powder is just as easy, using lightly compressed air in an enclosed chamber that vacuums away particles as you go. Plus, for finishing, with one of 3 processes that vary surface finishes to match any application. Choose a quick dip in Z-Bond sealant, followed by a short drying period. Get the same effect by dripping Z-Bond over the model, or lightly brush with Z-Max Infiltrant for a strong, brilliant colour finish. Regardless of which you choose, you get a smooth, vivid colour model that lasts, and you get it fast. In fact, from start to finish, this model was printed, depowdered and...
Okay, so the question this is, who would use this and how? Now, one of the use of 3D printing is if you're a company who does a prototyping, for example, toy company or manufacturing company. Now, the use of this is sometimes it takes a lot of time to develop a prototype for a product. Now, in this case, you need only a CAD where you design the product and then print it out, and it will develop the product for you. That's why they call this the rapid prototyping technology. You can produce the exact replica of the product that you need as fast as you can. And now we'll end this week's lecture with that, and next week I will be discussing week 10's presentation, and it will focus on ethics and social issues with regards to emerging technologies.